All right, the time is ticking, and the brothers are back. Minus one, but he'll join us soon enough. This is the GFB Clubhouse here on a Tuesday night at 7 p.m. And tonight, it feels like a casual night. This is gratitude in practice when life doesn't seem to be having a lot of highs or a lot of lows, just cruising right along. And the one thing I found out is that the only way, one of the best ways to get momentum is to speak about gratitude in these moments. We know we have to remember it when things are not going as well as we want them to. And it's easy to be grateful when everything is going well. But what do you do in the interim when things are just flowing and it doesn't seem like too much is occurring? What can you find to be grateful for in these moments? Tonight, we're going to explore just a little bit about that. My brothers here are Rod and John. Greg, like I said, is going to be joining us. But before we get into any of the discussion, let's go around the horn and find out a little bit about what's been going on lately and what we all have to be grateful for. My brother John, I'm a Floridian resident just like you. I got webbed feet. I'm ready to roll. How is it feeling down there, man? What are you grateful for?
Man, everybody knows already, blessed and highly favored. Two things that are top of mind is having something to do. You know, we seldomly count our blessings. When we have something to do, it kind of feels good because we know what it's like not to have anything to do. So
Oh,
I'm grateful I'm grateful for that, and also for my grandbaby, man. I was
yeah.
able to enjoy seeing him take his first steps, and that's a big deal, man. So we're
Wow.
here, brother Rod. What's going on, man? What you grateful for?
Man, first of all, that congratulations, man. Grandchild. I can't even fathom that right now. Woo. But I'm sure it's a blessing. And seeing him take his first steps, man, nothing like that. Nothing like that. It's been quite a while since I've seen some first steps. Maybe like
Mm.
13 years.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
something like that. So anyway. Um Brad, you opened it up so well to say, like, the moments with a lot of stuff is not going on. What can you find to be grateful for? And I think that if I'm being honest, those are the best times to find something to be grateful for, because it's not always when you win the prize or get the gold or the promotion. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just because. Sometimes it's because something didn't happen that probably could have or should have happened. You know what I mean? So I think when things are calm and you don't have a lot going on, it gives you time to reflect and go, you know what? I might not have exactly what I want right now. I might not be where I think I should be. But I'm so glad. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that I have XYZ. And for me today, that just rounds up to, honestly, man, being in a position that I dreamed about 10 years ago. I dreamed of having a family and having a home that I could afford and call my comfort zone. And I dreamed of working in my business full time versus having to go clock in somewhere. I dreamed of all of these things. And I didn't just dream about it. I woke up and put in the effort to actually make it happen in every facet of my life. So I'm grateful to be living in the thing that I dreamed about 10 years ago.
Mhm. How many of us can say that? Well, I tell you one thing, if it doesn't do anything else, it inspires us to continue to pursue dreams. Like you said, maybe we're not where we're supposed to be or where we think we're supposed to be just yet. But the motivation that comes from finding what you are grateful for, even in these moments, it's kind of what pushes you along. At least for me, it does. As being a catalyst. I'd have to equal and say that, the time that I'm living in right now, transitional period, but it's exciting because of the fact that it's different. It broke up the routine. And I know what comfortable looks like, and I know what the routine looks like, and I know I was sick of it. So because of that, the uncertainty that often comes with entrepreneurship, when you're moving around, when you're making different financial decisions that may right now kind of stagnate you, but will set you up properly in the future, if done with wisdom, of course, something to look forward to. But as for me, as far as what I'm grateful for today, man, I did I started off on stage, not even telling you guys, like the things at work was just going slow, but I did actually close an invoice today that was old. Like this elder gentleman who was 73, close to retirement. He gonna be retiring this December. I had shot him an invoice. He couldn't find it in his email. And then when I was get back to him, he'd pick up the phone and playing phone tag. But today, got through to him. He paid the invoice off, man. So that was a nice chunk of commission came through. Oh, I forgot that. Anyway,
Oh,
also,
congrats.
travelers. Yeah, thank you. My father and I drove down to Florida. That's why I'm right now. Those who are watching, watch us frequently to see my background changing almost like every other month. But down here with my cousin, just to take a break, take a change of scenery, I guess. And I'm just glad I made it down with my father driving. It's about 13 hours. I took the lion's share of that because I just wanted him to chill. He had a passenger van, and he's down here visiting his siblings who are all older than him and still alive. And my father's 72. All of them are here. All of them are alive. They're all well. You know what I'm saying? It's such a blessing. He took a picture with him, sent it to me this morning. So I'm glad he's enjoying, fellowship with his brothers and sisters down here. And yeah, man, I see our last brother has just joined at the perfect time. At the perfect time with smiles and everything. Tell me something grateful for. Tell me something you're grateful for, Greg.
Man, I am grateful to have such a wonderful network and community of people that can pull me out of my own way when I get in there.
Love it.
Yeah. And the fact that wherever you are isn't permanent. Like, yeah, it's a season. It's okay to not be okay. It's not okay to unpack your bags and set up a tent and stay there.
Answer me this question. As we're talking about casual gratitude and finding things to be grateful for in moments when life seems slow, when there's not a peak or a valley that you're going through, but you're just on a plane, I've heard the phrase a lot, fall in love with the process, not with the destination. And always remember where you came from. These cliche phrases I've heard plenty of times. What does falling in love with the process look like for you? For example, just briefly for myself, one thing that I love that is a part of the process is the implementation of the morning routine. I know we talked about it several times here on this podcast, but having that implemented now to where it's subconsciously I get activated. I got to wake up between 5:30 and 6 every day, no matter what I do. My body's just like, hey, up. Falling in love with the ability to do that and start getting things done before most people open their eyes has allowed me to be a little bit more productive in life on a compounding level. So I know that as success increases for myself, taking that element of my daily routine and applying that is only going to catalyze that, for lack of a better word. So I'm in love with that element, is what I'm saying. And at first I did not. I did not like waking up that early. Let me be clear, especially in October, November, December in DC. All y'all down more southern in warmer states, Texas, Georgia, Florida, hot. You come up to Maryland when it's getting like fall and winter. We got that icy cold wind coming from New York, Pennsylvania, Philly. John knows he from up there. It ain't nothing sweet, man. So I'm glad that the process has worked. I'm glad that I am that type of person because now it's ready. So in that element, I understand fall in love with the process. But what does it look like for you guys?
The question is like, how do you fall in love with the process, or
what does that mean to you? Like if you were in love with your process, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I hear in a lot of different ways, right? Enjoy the journey. Don't forget to smell the roses. It's a lot of different ways people say the same thing that you just said in terms of like enjoying the process and learning to love it. I think that the way to not do that is to only focus on the destination. If you're taking a road trip somewhere and all you're focused on is where you're going, you're going to miss all of the landmarks, all of the cool things that you would have seen out of the window and things of that nature. You're going to miss the camaraderie with the games that you're playing with your family in the car, the music that somebody is singing off tune. And like, it's so many different things that happen if you're only focused on where you're going that you will miss out on. And then to add flavor to that, it's like we only want good feelings. We only want things to work out. We never take advantage of the beauty of things not working out for us. What do I mean by that? So if you're going down a road, I'm gonna use the road trip example, and you're trying to get to a destination and there's a lot of traffic. Oh man, I don't want to be in this traffic. Boom, boom, boom. It's a 45-minute delay on this trip. But during that time, the driver can focus a little bit more on the conversation because they're not so focused on the road. You might have a golden conversation with this person that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And that's just an example. But my point is, that's how you enjoy the journey. That's how you enjoy the process. You have to sit in it, because if you're too far into the future, then you can't really enjoy the present. And it's called the present because it's a gift. And so unwrap it and take hold of the fruit that's there. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned to do that over time, no matter where I find myself. It's like, yo, I'm here. It may not be exactly what I want, but I'm about to get something out of this. If you're going to go through something, get something out of it in the same time.
That's good. I love that you said the present is called the present for a reason, because it's a gift. And if you have one foot in the past and one foot in the future, all you have room left to do is defecate and urinate on your present. And nobody's doing that at Christmas time.
Dang.
So if my focus is in the future, that's where anxiety is caused, because I'm focusing on a future outcome, usually something I don't want to happen in the future, right? Because there's that element of fear or a story I'm telling myself based on things that have happened before or a trauma I have. If I'm in the past, that is where worry comes in. That's where worry is created, because I'm worrying that something that happened in the past is going to perpetuate in this present or future moment. But if I'm in the present and I say I'm enjoying this moment, the moment I say that moment's gone. But every moment we are in that very moment is the most important moment ever.
Yeah.
I have to enjoy where I'm at on the way to where I'm going, because when I get there, there is going to be gone the instant it happens, right? It doesn't matter whether I got to the 6 figures, the multiple 6 figures, the publishing of the book. It was a great milestone to cross. But if I didn't enjoy that journey, learn from that journey, and there's nothing that I can give to someone else from that journey, then what was it all for? It makes it miserable. It makes it begrudging to go through all the motions if all you're focused on is what's going to happen when you get there. So for me, falling in love with the journey looks like, what am I doing today? Right? What am I giving thanks for today? What thing can I handle today that I can't handle for a lifetime? I don't quit drugs forever. I quit drugs for the day that I'm alive, the day that I'm awake, the day I'm breathing air, because that's all I have control over. I don't know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow. Let's be real, right? I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. So if I'm stressing about tomorrow, in today, I'm taking away the power I have to enjoy, to serve, to do whatever I need to do in this day, and I'm giving it to the future. Or if I'm focused on the past and dreading it or regretting it or resentful about it, I'm still robbing myself of the power to enjoy this moment that I'm here with my brothers, talking to whoever's watching us or whoever's watching on the replay. That is the most important moment, period.
You left them speechless, Greg. Nobody knows what to say anymore.
I think it's important to pause for dramatic effect so that it can sink in. If you don't do it,
the dramatic effect.
If you don't do it, it's not gonna happen. There's a lot of good nuggets from everything that you guys, each one of you, have said. You know, we all go through learnings, through seasons, through situations, circumstances. I know that in my life, you know, there's been situations where I can't understand that gratitude can come from it. There's nothing to look back and say, well, I'm grateful that that happened, you know, in particular, like certain situations here and there. However, interestingly enough, you know, and I'll get to my point as quickly as I can. I wrote a piece called Broken, Why Broken is Beautiful.
Hmm.
And you know, a lot of people looked at it and kind of questioned because they didn't understand that in order for you to find what you have to sever it. You have to see what's inside.
Mm.
You know, when we look at the book of Genesis, for example, when our Father created everything that he created, it was formless, right? There was voids. It was dark. You know, he had to create pieces to then bring this thing together. And everything in life that you look at is that same way. It's fragmented. It's the only way you can have a unit of measure. It's through the fragmentation of it. So I say all of that to say the interesting part of the way we follow our lives is we don't allow ourselves grace for anything that happens in our lives because we believe we know what life should look like or will look like. And that lack of grace
Mm.
takes away our ability to be present,
Hmm.
right? So in the word it says, I am. We've had multiple conversations on and off camera where we've discussed, okay, well, what is our state of being? And I talk about this a lot because everything that I teach is based on that because it's my learning, it's my experience. If your current state of being is from a future you don't know, which, as Greg said, it creates anxiety and not anticipation, right? So you do want to have a destination and you want to see what that destination is, but how you get there, that's not, you can't control that. You can do what you can do each day, but you can't control the path and how the path works because his plan is better than our plan. So going back to the point, and I'll end it with this, and I know that I said a lot, but the point is, in order for you to truly enjoy the present, you have to be aware of your current state of being. Having a morning routine creates a state of being.
Hmm.
Being in the moment, like Jim Rohn used to say, when you're at the beach, be at the beach, right?
Yeah.
You can't be at the beach trying to do work. Be at the beach. If I'm talking to my brothers, I'm talking to my brothers. My phone rang. But as we know, disruption always follows intention. What did I do? I took my phone and I threw it over there. Why? I'm here. I have to be present. So again, your current state of being will dictate that. And if you're aware of that, then you'll truly enjoy the present, which translate into enjoying the journey. Because if you can't enjoy every moment where you're present, then you're not going to eventually look back and say, oh yeah, that was fun, or whatever. Sorry.
No,
As
you
I just
good.
threw my phone on the other side of the room.
I threw it under some food I got over here.
Yeah.
I just want to say it live for the record, John, that you did a great job of a Jim Rohn impression, but Brad is Jim Rohn. Okay.
No,
I'm
Brad, take this and I ain't gonna
Brad is Jim Rohn. Okay.
No argument for me. No argument.
But he's also the communication coach, so it makes sense
Exactly.
to articulate himself in that way. Yeah.
The
How
tone
does he say it, Brad? How does he say it? You remember that one?
And You gotta give me which he's saying, man.
The one where he's talking about being present. He says, when you're in the car, be in the car. When you're at the beach, be at the beach. You know,
I can say it
So,
like, yeah. It's like, when
yeah.
you're in the car, be in the car. When you're at the beach, be at the beach.
Yeah,
Be where you are. Be present. Not in the
yeah,
future. Not in the
yeah,
past.
yeah.
Right now.
Right now.
And then he'll just look and just smile at you. That's his dramatic effect is always like very. He has
It's
such a
perfect.
wonderful way of delivering difficult information that people digest it happily.
Yeah.
When I hear him think, I was like, this is like when my mom used to give me bad tasted medicine because I needed it. You know what I'm saying? But she would always be like, she'd be happy, and then she'd deliver it, and even though it was nasty, it wouldn't be as bad because she put me in a happy mood. So that's I think Jim Rohn had a talent for that, man.
Or they had that juice chaser afterwards.
Yeah, the juice.
Yeah.
They
At
were
least you
preparing
got
us
that.
for our alcohol.
I didn't get none of that. No.
Oh man.
You ain't get no
Yeah.
medicine, man.
Huh?
You ain't get no medicine, no nasty medicine.
No, I got the nasty medicine. I didn't get the juice chaser.
Yeah,
Here
no,
you go.
we didn't get
It's
that.
good for you.
Yeah.
Say it with your chest. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nah.
all that type of stuff, man.
Nah, I got the castor oil with the Snapple afterwards.
No, I got the
Oh.
castor oil with the castor oil taste.
With the castor oil.
Yeah.
Wash it down with your spit. That's what I got. Take a deep swallow. Dang it.
So I'm gonna ask you guys a question. What was the last thing, most recently? What was the last project or thing that you guys almost like you were grateful? You look back, you were like, okay, this is good, but in the moment, it wasn't that good. What was the last thing that you guys can recall?
Writing the book.
So a marketing campaign on my end. We just didn't have the structural support from management because sales rep team, you figure out a marketing plan, you figure out the marketing plan. But if you don't have the infrastructure in place so that can be launched properly, it sucks. And I remember myself and my team, we were faced with this. I'm leaving out details on purpose, but when we faced it, we were like, okay, this is where we are. So what we gonna do? Because it's not like we can back out of this. Let's just grind. I'm gonna make 30, 40 calls a day. You make 30, 40 calls a day. You make 30, 40 calls a day. Let's see where we end up. And from that, it sucked because it drained. You never know who you're going to talk to when you pick up the phone. You never know what state of mind or what mood those people are going to be in when they pick up the phone, but you have to accommodate. But the wonderful thing about it is I learned after that first day of doing it, my ability to adjust my tone level to match theirs and calm them down if they were irate, if they were upset or something like that, or if they were curious, because my clientele is primarily around the age of retirement, and people are very cautious around that age about being scammed. My parents have been scammed before, so I know it happens. All these people calling your phone. So that curiosity when they pick up the phone allows me to alter the way I communicate back to them to let them know things are safe. And I reflect that through the words that I use and the tone of voice that I have. And I did it instantly. I just started changing it. And that ability, it was tiring because you're using energy to do all this with people you don't know. When I was done with the day, I was like, called 30, 40 people, got 6 people booked. It's a healthy percentage right there. You know what I'm saying? It's like 20%. I can live with 20%. Let's see if we can do 30% tomorrow. And then got my moment, but it sucked in the moment. I'm telling you, man. That's mine. I would say that's mine recently.
It's an interesting question, John. I've been sitting here wrestling, trying to think like, I don't know.
Maybe because you're still in it right now.
Well, no, I think it's because I feel like I've learned how to live inside and outside of the storm at the same time. So because I know the storm is going to pass. And so while I'm in it and it's heavy, I'm already like, well, it's not that heavy. Well, remember the last time? You remember you thought you were going to die and then you made it out and you didn't die? Well, yeah, just apply that to this time. And I do it in real time. So even when I'm in the thick of it in the moment, like my faith has been refined in such a way in this entrepreneurial journey. I just, man, I feel like I can't go through something without seeing the benefit and the good in that situation while I'm in it.
Mm.
And I'm thankful, right? Because God knows I ain't been through it all. So I'm prayerful I don't have to go through nothing crazy. But my point is, I lean on God in that moment, and it all my anxiety, all my stress, everything just goes. Psh, it's like letting air out of a balloon.
What was that thing that took you to that place?
I mean, it's everything, right? I'll just give you an example. So I had to produce a podcast for one of my clients, and it was a live kind of like corporate podcast type thing, but it wasn't a podcast, it was a call. And it was like 400 people on the live, and then it was like an offer at the end. It was a VIP. It was a big deal, but I was acting like 5 people on the set. So in a real situation, you would need 5 people to do all the things I was doing. I'm sending marketing emails with my left hand. I'm over here running the microphone with my right. I mean, I'm doing all type of stuff. And it was chaotic and things weren't working right. And so in that moment, for a person who I operate in excellence and I can't operate in excellence, that's when you will see me at my worst. But instead of panicking, instead of going, oh crap, this is supposed to happen, it didn't happen. Instead of doing that, I said, it's gonna be okay. People that are on this call are gonna get what they need to hear. And after the call, we are gonna talk about how we're gonna do it better the next time. And it's gonna be okay. And so when I told myself that, I calmed all the way down. And I was just like, look, it is what it is. And I know that's not really helpful for a lot of people who are like, well, how do I do that? The reason that I'm able to do that is because it's not because I'm so great. It's because I know who is. You know what I'm saying? I center all of my focus, energy, and attention on what I can do about the situation. And if I can't do nothing about it, it gets no more of my attention. None.
It's good.
Why would I put time and energy into something that I can't change? That's wasting time and energy that I could be giving towards something I can change. And I'm just thankful that I've had these last 2.5 years of full-time entrepreneurship to like really wrestle with that. Because now I feel like, okay, all right, I got this. You know what I'm saying? It's like David and Goliath. He could handle Goliath because he killed a bear and a lion. Who was Goliath? You know what I'm saying? So that's my point. Hope that.
And he got 5 smooth stones, not all for if he missed. He got them for Goliath and his brothers. That's how confident he was. 1 for each of them.
That's right.
So when I said writing the book, I froze because writing a book is a whole new journey. Like everyone is told, you should write a book, or everyone has that feeling at some point. I want to write a book. I want to share my life, my testimony, my story. And now the barrier to entry for that is so low. Anyone can write a book, especially with AI, right? It may not be a good book, but you can write a book. And this process has been going on for me since, I want to say 2010, 11, feeling like I needed to write a book. And then when I finally had a story that a lot of people were recommending, you should write a book about that because you keep having to tell this story over and over again. The self-doubt, the test, the trials, the imposter syndrome, the things that come against you when it comes time to that, and then the way people react when it's finally done is not matching what you thought it would. Either people think you're rich and you published a book, so now you don't have to worry about anything, you're a published author and you're just somehow magically a millionaire now, or people get really uncomfortable because they also had that same vision, but they didn't act on it. And so now they think you think you're better than them because you published a book. And so they're treating you differently. But the whole process, like it didn't seem palatable or enjoyable while I was doing it. how many times I had to reread it and re-edit and revisit all the things and doubt myself on whether I should even be speaking about these things, right? And then you publish it and someone reads it and you get the feedback. It's like, man, as a result of your book, I've done this. Or, you know, I picked up your book to read it and I couldn't put it down. So I read the whole thing in one sitting. And all of that feedback makes all of the pain worth it. But boy, going through it. And when I finally hired a team to help me, I was kind of disappointed with how much I paid versus how much I had left to do. It was like, you were this close. You were just too close to it and too tired of it to complete it. You ever had one of those moments where you hired someone to do something and they come in and all they had to do was 2 or 3 more things or one more thing, and you're like, I could have done that.
I have to jump in. I know I just talked, but I have to say this. That actually birthed my marketing agency. I was back in my rapping days. Y'all know we had our freestyles and stuff.
We got to do that again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, I had that freestyle.
Back in my rapping days, I was putting the album out and I'm like, man, we need a logo to represent our production company and all this. I was like, man, I really don't have the time to do it. I know I could, but you know, let me just hire somebody to do it. And I hired a lady. I mean, her process was so smooth and simple. We went through a few revisions and iterations and we nailed down the logo. And as soon as I was like, this is it, I was also like, I'm never paying for a logo again in my life. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go make this money today. Hey, you need a logo? So I literally launched my agency that day.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a wrap. I was like, I'm never paying for this.
Make your logo.
All right. So I guess I'm seeing the process today is we're asking a really deep question that's valuable as we go around. So Brad had a question, John had a question. I have a question. And this helped us we did an event live last week called Off the Clock, where we got a bunch of business owners in a room along with some juniors, and we didn't tell them to talk about anything they did. They were supposed to talk about what lit them up, you know, answer these questions. You had some surface level questions, some medium questions, and we didn't even get to the deep ones. And one of the questions that had stood out was, what did you want to be when you were 14? Not what did you become, or what were you told? Like, what did you actually want to be versus what you became? And mine was a rapper, and everyone laughed. But that journey of learning how to rap and do all the things and play with words and put it to a beat and be on beat, like all of that prepared me for the way I speak and people lean in today. So I'm just curious, what did y'all want to be when you were 14? And how has that influenced the way you go about in your life today?
That's a good question. I'm gonna let John and Brad answer.
What about this? I'm trying to figure out what grade I was in when I was 14, because that'll help.
High school. He's starting.
7th or 8th.
Yeah, before starting high school. Starting high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this. I know that I was brought up to plan to be a doctor, which is the reason why when I was in undergrad in college, I got a degree in biology, a bachelor's of science in biology, but I didn't do nothing with it. So I kind of went in that direction. But I'll say this, if I'm 14 and I'm just starting high school, that means I just completed or around about the 8th grade. And if that happened for me at that age, I remember in 8th grade, we took our first international trip. First international trip I had been on, and we went to London, England. And we were over there for a week, 14 years old. And when I went over there and saw how people lived and saw how crazy the hour difference was and saw people eating tea and crumpets and fish and chips and talking weird and playing soccer, my mind just was like, this world is big. I want to travel. And that's when I first got the bug. I was like, there are people living over here, and they're not American. Like it sounds so regular, but to see a whole country. I mean, like, saw Big Ben, saw the Crown Jewels, saw the London Bridge, so went down on the River Thames, went out to where Shakespeare was born, and we're learning stuff each and every place we're going. I'm just like, this place has a lot of history, a lot of people, and it's big. And just those simple things were sparked in my mind. I want to travel and see other places, see how other people live in other places. So in my mind, I was like, I want to be a traveler. Just that, and nothing associated with it, traveling, doing something. I didn't know much at that point. I was just like, I want to travel. 14. That's exactly. Once I placed what grade I was in, I was like, okay, I know where I'm at now. So that's mine. Was that answer the question?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because you doctor communication now. You may not be a doctor like you thought you would be, but your doctorate is in communication.
I should have been in the flipping FBI to tell y'all brothers for real. With the way I communicate, I can get information out of anybody. John knows this. I can do this, man. I should have been in one of these federal agencies, man. The big shades and the big black shades on like this with a blazer. I should have.
Oh, that's where I know you from. You were in that movie, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, he just flashed your memory.
Am I me?
Don't forget this point though. I want to know y'all favorite spy movies before we end this live. I got mine. I just think about it.
Get out of here.
We'll come back to that.
We're gonna go there.
We have to.
Should just go there. We should just go there.
Let's do it.
Favorite spy movie? You gotta go first, man.
All right, y'all not gonna agree with it. I already know it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's called Spy Game. It's with Robert Redford and
It's a good movie. That's a real good movie, actually.
What's the popular guy name? What's his name, John? You know who I'm talking about. Brad Pitt.
Hold on.
That's who it is.
Brad. Yeah.
What's it called? Spy Game?
Spy Games. Favorite spy movie.
That's so funny because I just saw a couple of days ago Troy. I'm like, the guy from Troy. Hold on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good movie.
And before I move on,
for me, it was Wanted. Sorry to cut you off.
I
think Wanted was official.
Who was Wanted?
Wanted is the one where they curved the bullet.
Yeah.
Oh,
they curved the bullet and all that. That movie was sick, man.
Assassins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was good.
I
gotta go back and watch that. I haven't seen it in a while. Somebody say Assassins? Did I hear that?
Yeah, I mean, when I think about Wanted, because they would teach you how to be an assassin. I liked his story arc too. He was a sucker. He always had people run over him. He was a sucker at work. Everybody was telling him what to do, but he had this ability in him that he got from his father that allowed him to slow time down, like super concentrate and like curve bullets and stuff like that. And this fraternity recruited him. I ain't gonna give away the whole thing.
Is that with Bruce Willis, Assassin?
No, that's the guy. What's his name that did Split?
I know who he's talking about.
Yeah, James McAvoy. I don't know why I know actors' names. Don't ask me, but that's him. That was.
Yeah.
So he was on Wanted.
He was on Wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought y'all was talking about a movie called Assassin. That's what threw me off.
Oh no.
So there is that movie called Assassin's Creed, I think it is, and it's also a game.
Yeah,
I think
I
they
didn't
made
know
a
there was a
movie.
movie for it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm torn between Austin Powers. Y'all asking Mikey, man. I'm torn between Austin Powers and Spy with Melissa McCarthy. Those are my two top spy movies.
I mean, hey,
Austin Powers, bro. So extra.
You know what's
yeah,
crazy,
baby.
Our picks match our personality. You know what I'm saying? Because my film is all serious. You know what I'm saying? Greg picked Austin Powers. Like Wanted is like good, You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think it matches our personalities too.
I agree.
So Rob, you was gonna answer the question and then I cut you off.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I got to remember the question now. That's why I wanted to try
What
to
did
answer
you want to be when you were
Favorite stuff is
14?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I wanted to be a lawyer, believe it or not. A detective, kind of like I was always into figuring stuff out, piecing together evidence and putting the story together to make sure everybody understood what actually happened. And I wanted to be a lawyer all the way up until my senior year in high school, and I went a different direction. Like at the last minute, after seeing The Devil's Advocate, I was like, "Yep, nope, don't want none of that. If that's what I gotta do, I'm good." So
That
Tell me
movie
a
serious.
movie deterred you.
a movie
Devil's Advocate is
deterred
such a
me from
straight-
my life trajectory. Yes,
Yeah, man.
it's great. Here's the thing: like, it wasn't the movie; it was the reality of the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like I want to defend people who need a defense. I don't want to try to prosecute somebody who, you know what I'm saying, who I think might be innocent, or defend somebody I think might be guilty. But that comes with the job. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this job. If my livelihood is dependent on me getting somebody off who should be on, you know. So, but I will also say I know where it came from. I got blamed for a lot as a child. I'm talking about a lot. And it wasn't no conversation. It was just a belt coming off. You know what I'm saying? And it taught me that some people don't have a voice. Some people can't defend themselves. Some people, they're just going to get in trouble, even if they have nothing to do with it. So that led me down a criminal justice path. And I realized there was a lot of people in jail who didn't actually do the crime. And it's all because they didn't have proper representation. So, yeah, that's that.
And you show this in your brand strategy too, because of the way you lay things out in such a way, like you're very methodical and precise about the information that you share.
I can see that. Yeah. Hey, so maybe I am out here defending people and getting people on and getting people off.
Like, you do not need to be building a brand.
I've never told anybody that. Okay, that's not my motto. My motto is you're building a brand whether you want to or not. So you might as well do it by design instead of by default.
Preach.
Come on, you speak at John's language now.
1000%. 1000%.
Did everybody answer the question? Did you answer the question, Greg? I think you said you want to be a rapper. John didn't answer the question.
Mine was a one word answer, but it's deeper than that. I wanted to make people feel better through the only thing that ever made me feel better, which was music. I knew the power that was in music, because when the belt was coming off, when I was getting blamed, when all of the pain in my world was still there, all I had to do was put on a pair of these and put on my favorite song or a new song I'd never heard before, and it took me to a different place. And the problem I found when I first was listening to music is I'm over here saying lyrics, but I don't understand them. And I grew up on West Coast gangster rap. So like, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm over here singing these things, singing these chants, and I don't even understand what I'm prophesying over my life. And so I would take those lyrics that they were saying, use the same cadence and say something I wanted to say or I wanted to hear. And that's how the rapper was born. Was I didn't want to be singing the same things, and I knew I'd get in trouble for saying the actual words. So let me just make something better or more fun or more playful. It started with parody. They called me the Black Weird Al Yankovic because I would make parodies of people's songs. And then it just evolved from there. But I just wanted to change the way people felt with music, because I know music moves people.
Makes sense. I think we need to do a breakdown of what you just said at some point, but I'll just say this: you still care about making people feel good. You know, you just doing it in various ways, especially helping them to see things that they can't see about themselves. So Well, no, man, you got some talents. I just need to hear you rap like Weird Al Yankovic, though. I need to see what that sounds like.
I
Make
second
sure
that.
you want to visit that again.
Remind me to tell y'all the story about the Black Waiter, the remix to The Bartender by T-Pain and I think it was just T-Pain. I made a song called The Black Waiter because of an incident that happened when I worked at El Phoenix and Grapevine. That's a story for another day.
Okay.
That sounds exciting. I don't know about y'all, but I'm anticipating to hear that.
What about you, John? Did you answer that one?
No, I didn't answer it. At that time, my life was a little complicated, but I had just finished interviewing for an art school. So I was really deep into my art, but on more than one level. So I don't know about y'all, but I grew up on like Steven Seagal movies and a lot of kung fu flicks and stuff like that. And I trained martial arts from the age of 7 to about 17 or so. So at that time, I wanted to be a Navy SEAL. So I wanted to go into
good to know, John.
the Navy.
I'm never gonna bother you again. I'm gonna make
You're
sure
so funny.
Good terms. Yes, sir, and no, sir. When I talk to you.
You're so funny. You know, it was my first time during martial arts. It was my first time understanding that healing is the key. Like love is the key. Because it's the first thing that I learned in so we had a grandmaster. The bottom line is he taught us how to help people, how to heal people before we learned how to defend ourselves from other people. So it was interesting. It was a beautiful opportunity. I actually, when you first asked the question, my mind went a completely different way. But then as we started talking about the movies, I started to remember that time, and yeah, so I wanted to be a Navy SEAL. I almost made it to the Navy, but then I found out that I was going to be a dad, and I ended up not going. But I took the pre-ASAP test and all that stuff, and passed all the stuff that I needed to, and I was supposed to enlist a couple of weeks later. And in the meantime, I found out that I was having my daughter Marie, and yeah, I didn't go.
Now, I'm going to ask a John-like question.
Please.
Can you still be grateful even though you didn't become what you thought you'd be at 14? No.
There you go. By the way, right cadence. I love the tone. On the money. On the money.
Nah, I didn't do it as smooth as you, man. You have this you still have this way of healing people before you take them to the next level. And that is evident in the way and I'm speaking for every one of us, but I know we've each had a conversation individually with you, and you just have this way of gently leading to the root of the problem and removing that before you even push people to the solution.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Start talking like Yoda, man. Just talk like
the only one I think only me and Rod haven't had like that level of conversation outside of the group, but yeah.
Oh, that
we're due. We're
overdue.
Yeah.
Did you ask a question?
Who, me?
Oh.
Yeah.
Rod, no, I didn't ask my question yet.
Does he have one?
I always have questions, man. I got questions that's gonna penetrate your soul. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to spare you.
Come on with it. Nah, man. Come on with it.
Come on,
I thought it was what's your favorite Sky movie. I thought that was.
Nah, I'm just talking. Look, my questions be so simple. It don't do none of that. You know, it breaks the monotony, and it's a pattern switcher. That's what I do. I switch the pattern. So I guess my question for the three of you gentlemen is, you know, when it comes to self-reflection, introspective, looking in the mirror, deciding, you know, who you are on a day-to-day basis, we all have, fears and skeletons and things that we would rather keep to ourselves and stuff like that. I won't expect you guys to come live talking about any of those things, but I'm curious to know, like, are there days where you kind of got an idea of who you are, but you're questioning everything, as Sir Greg would put it, and you're now looking to reinvent your whole life based off of that particular day? And I'll kind of round this question up by making it simple and saying there are some days where I wake up and it's like I don't want to breathe, I don't want to walk, I don't want to look at nothing. I don't even want to be. It's just like I don't know, and it's random. It's nothing that like provokes it. But those days are the days that I question everything that I'm doing. So I guess my question to you is, do you have days where you question yourself in that way?
So I want to go first because I want to point out the fact that you said you would be simple. You ain't going to go that deep. That's the deepest question anybody has asked.
Deep dish pizza. This brother just kept going. I was like,
The bottomless pizza.
That's what happens when you don't think of a question when before it's your turn. You
right,
gotta,
exactly.
Listen,
Exactly.
it was perfect. Honestly, it's perfect, especially going to up to our hour. So I would like to answer.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put myself out there because I does this. It's okay. Just 2 days ago, I was having breakfast with Lulu, and I had to stop what I was eating, and I couldn't help myself, and started just I couldn't hold it. Like I started crying, and I told her, I said, I'm tired. I'm done. Like I'm so done. Like I feel overwhelmed. Like I'm just it's I can't keep doing this.
Mm.
And when and it's a pattern, right? Each one of us have our own individuality in the sense of what we express and how we express this because we have our lived experience individually. Collectively, our voice is so powerful because it gives dimension and contrast, right? Each one of us provides this piece. I say that to say my thing has always been about the level of grace you give yourself. I don't weep or cry or feel vulnerable or allow myself to be vulnerable because I want pity or whatever. No, it's because I give myself grace. I allow myself to feel whatever I need to feel because I know that it's not up to me what my path entails. It's already been drawn out. Like you either believe or okay? For me, I know. Like I know my father got me because I'm still here. I'm with you, right? So because of that, if I feel overwhelmed and this and that and that, okay, let's go. And I'm telling you, I was a hot mess, bro. You would think that somebody, God forbid, hurt one of my family members or hurt one of y'all or something like that. But it wasn't even like that. I just literally, everything just came all at once and poof, I was done. I was done. Come yesterday, Monday, I was out on the field, visited a bunch of homeowners, got a bunch of new contracts, this, that, and the third. Today, I'm building stuff online, things that I'm doing, and that's gonna, be coming up soon. I'm here. I was able to have dinner with 2 of my kids. Like I'm good. But maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and then, right? It happens. Are you giving yourself the opportunity to be that? And are you too proud to actually voice it? Because if you are, or your ego gets in the way, then are you really truly giving yourself grace and allowing yourself to be vulnerable?
That's so good. I'm noticing a pattern myself in my life. The question was, do you have days where you question everything about yourself or question yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've had a day that I didn't.
Mm.
Wow.
And as you asked that, I'm like, I mean, what day isn't like that? And I notice the days that I am consciously aware of myself, my actions, my thoughts, the God kisses throughout the day, looking for the little times when God shows up. When I am reading scripture or something uplifting or focusing on being in the moment with people and serving, calling someone, even if it's just for 8 minutes to get out of my own head, writing, physically writing something down to reflect at the end of the day. When I'm in that cadence that was set forth by recovery, which we used to call the 5 Alive, you'd pray, you'd read some literature, you'd call another recovering addict, you'd go to a meeting, and you'd write about whatever your problem was. And then you'd read some more literature and pray at the end. There were 7, but it was so that those 2 could be repeated. And I used to put my wallet under my bed so that I at least had to get down on the ground on my knees twice a day to pray. Once to get the wallet, once to put it back under there, right? When I am in that habit loop of being consciously aware of taking that inventory of where I went wrong and how I can amend it quickly so that those resentments don't build up, so that there's not a bunch of stuff building up. I am a much different person than when I fall off of that routine, kind of like your morning routine, Brad. That miracle morning, that was my miracle morning. And I can tell the years that I journal and the years that I don't. Because if I'm not aware of where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I should probably be doing differently, then yes, I'm questioning everything about myself and the answers I'm getting are not helpful. But if I'm taking that time to consciously be meditating on the word, writing out, what happened in this day that I can be grateful for, what did I do wrong that I could amend quickly? Where did I cause harm that I should probably, rectify quickly so my ego doesn't take over? When I'm there, life is a lot different and the questions are different. I'm not holding myself in this place where I'm not giving myself grace, or I'm beating myself up, or I hate myself. I'm in a state of love because I'm loving myself by being aware of where I'm at and how I can be better of service to my fellow man. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got away from that for a while, and I actually opened up this. My friend Misty got this for me a while back. It says Shine On. And she got this for me in 2023, I believe, or 21. Yeah, 23. And I hadn't written in this thing since December 5th of last year. And before that, I think it was like April. Yep. So y'all have seen me. It's been a roller coaster. When I'm not consciously aware and writing out, like physically writing it, or consciously aware in every moment of what's happening and what to be grateful for, taking a physical note of it at the end of the day, it's easy to spiral. It's easy to get in that moment where you just want to give up and you want to cry. Or the moment last week that we weren't live and I just went off on how I'm not even going to go about it live here. I want to go back to selling drugs because at least it was easy to sell people something that they would rather be doing. Like I was over it that day. But it seemed like a good idea in the moment because I wasn't present with myself, if that makes sense. I said a lot. If you heard nothing else I said, take a daily inventory. It helps.
Yeah, we could do a whole segment on what you just said in that, bro. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad that you're able to take a moment in those moments. You know what I'm saying? So, whew. See, I knew I should have asked about your favorite cereal brand or whether or not Jordan or LeBron is the greatest, or like, I got everybody in a different mood. Everybody's all deep. It's your fault, Brad. You the leader.
Come on, Leo.
I'm trying to. I've had a sufficient amount of time to identify with that question, but it leads me to being transparent in a way that, I mean, probably only I can't do it. But I mean, I felt like that this morning when I woke up. I'm down here in Florida. I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm not around familiar settings, and I started analyzing what we do when we wake up sometimes, and gratitude is not the first thing on our mind, but sometimes it happens. And I start thinking about different things that still need to be done that are not. And that starts an avalanche that usually leads to like an anxiety cesspool. And so I used to use the method of just getting high to avoid it. And that would cause me to forget or put my mind on something else, something trivial that would waste time. And then by the time that was done, I wouldn't be thinking on that path anymore, even though stuff was still undone with it. But that was the old way of dealing with it. Now there's a method that I have that I'm grateful for, that I learned from this crazy Floridian. His last name rhymed with Oba or something like that. I can't even remember where I met him, but he taught me this phrase that said something like what is the problem? And I remember when he asked me that question the first time, I thought he was joking because it was such a simple question. But then as he kept asking, it's like it resonated more. What's the problem? Because when you think about what the problem is, you start to realize that there is no problem. And it causes you to keep thinking and keep going to the root of why you are feeling like you're feeling, why you are thinking that your train has gone way off the tracks, that you're just lost way out in the wilderness, and you don't know how you got here and why in the world are you here. But then that question comes to the surface: what is the problem? And then I have to answer, there is no problem. Why is there no problem? Because I'm alive, because I breathe, because I can walk. Because I got clothes, I got food, I got shelter, I got a car, I got a job, I got family, I got friends, I got love, I got happiness, I got joy, and it's all here. All I have to do is claim it. And it was something you said earlier, Rod, that I wanted to comment on, but I didn't get a chance to, but now is the perfect time. You said when this happened, like when you said you were doing all that stuff for that live podcast, or that thing that you were controlling doing what 5 people do, and in the middle of it, you were just like, you know what? It's going to be okay. There's so much power in articulating that, not just thinking it, but saying it. And the reason why is because words are powerful, especially when there's like intense emotion behind it. So whenever I get into the frame of mind where I'm just like, man, what the hell is going on? Why is this happening? Why is that? What am I doing here? What is like reality is screaming at me in my face, behind my head, and in both ears at the same time. Like, what are you doing? Then I answer with, what's the problem? There's no problem. It's like a reset button. Get your mind back, get it right back on the right vibration, and let's move forward. Because now we have another day full of opportunity, full of advantages, full of things to take advantage of. But if you sit right here and wonder what's wrong, you're wasting time and you're missing opportunities. And your awareness is focused on the wrong thing. So ask what the problem is, answer it confidently that there is none, and put yourself right back where you need to be, man. And I know we lingering just over an hour right now, but if I had any last thing to say, is to just adopt that and have faith in the power of your own words. It seems stupid. I swear I was the most skeptical one. What you mean say this in the mirror and just say it out loud? What's that going to do? The fact that you believe like that shows that you never had faith in the power of your own word. So the only way to start that is by practicing. Speaking against whatever that is, man. In the moment, doing things that 5 people should do, just be like, it's gonna be all right. When there are problems everywhere, you just be like, what's the problem? No problem. Whatever you have for your situation, because it's different for everybody. The question, the statement, whatever it is that you got to say in that moment, your words are not the same as ever. You got to find what you need to hear come out of your own mouth.
Mm.
And that's going to knock you out of that cycle, man. That's the only way, because everybody got them days. Everybody. And do not lie and say that you know, or else you would not be
For
human.
sure.
So I guess we're going on the oh, hold on. That deserved a pause.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't give out robes tonight, but he would have it if he.
Yeah.
He
I mean, we was just
Y'all give me
playing
time to think like
hot
that.
robe.
Everybody want to answer a question before me. You give me time to think. I'm gonna give you something, man.
You gonna spit
But
it out.
And that's your key. That's your key, Brad. And everybody
Yeah.
has a key.
That's my key.
That was the key. And then in our time having those discussions, we were able to find what that key was. I'm glad that it's worked for you. That to me means everything. So that's awesome, brother.
Yeah. I think you've left a nugget like that with all of us. You just have that way of asking the most powerful question in the moment that is needed. That's why I said this conversation between Rod and John needs to happen. I feel like something's gonna happen from that one. So I'm guessing we're giving our final takeaway, our golden nugget of the night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, between y'all three and a few other people in my life, it's woken me up to the power of my words, the power of my thoughts, and the power of my emotions. And that as long as something outside of me needs to change in order for me to be okay, I have no power. And as soon as I become the problem, I miraculously also become my solution. And so what has my problem been? I love that. What's the problem? There is no problem. I am the problem, because I'm giving meaning and I'm building a story and using my beautiful imagination that I have to create this world. And I'm creating a world I don't want to live in with my words, my thoughts, and my actions. And those are causing emotions, and they're forming as beliefs that keep me trapped in the thing that I'm creating with that imagination that I'm using in reverse. I'm using a fantasy in reverse to create a nightmare. And I'm the one doing it. No one else is doing it for me. No one's over here confirming it. Everyone believes in me. I have all these people that will love and support me and help me. And I'm limiting myself with my words and my beliefs and my thoughts and my actions, because it's just a habit that's formed. So I want to leave y'all with this. It sounds so cliche when you hear it, whether you believe you can or believe you can't. Either way, you're right. But it is so true. And I want to challenge you. What if the life you're living right now is a result of what you've been thinking, feeling, speaking, and doing? And you could change that by rewriting the narrative today. Like, you can decide today, I'm going to tell a different story where I win in the end. I'm going to tell a different story and be okay with whatever happens. But I'm going to show up either way, because I've already visualized myself winning. And all I got to do is show up for that to actually happen. And that's what I'm doing differently today.
I love it. That's so good. And my last word is kind of tied to that, because I started like that. When I said that I'm living what I dreamed about 10 years ago, I only got there because I spoke about it. I wrote it out. I believed it. I talked about it. And then I walked it out. I did the things necessary to get me there. My pastor always says, pray like it's all up to God and work like it's all up to you. And I embody that. I always have. But one other thing I'll say to close with the whole thing you said, Brad, how it feels weird, like saying stuff out loud and talking in the mirror and all this hocus pocus. It is not hocus pocus. It is real life. And yeah, words have power. All the other cliches you can think about, listen to them. They became a cliche for a reason, because people with wisdom would say them over and over again, and it became a known thing. But what I did 4 years ago, every morning after spending time with God, before getting to my work, on the days that I would do that, because I wasn't perfect with it, I would come. It's a whiteboard right over here on my left. I would literally write the date all the way out. I'm talking about Friday, September 14th, 2000, whatever the date is, right? And then the next thing I would write is an affirmation. And I would write a new affirmation every day. It would start something like, I am blessed, I am healthy, and I am going to achieve all that I want to achieve today. And then I would say it out loud a couple of times and kind of get it in my system. And then I would start working. And then I would do that every day. And I'm living from those affirmations that I wrote all those years ago. Some of them were more specific and literal. Some of them were more, aspirational and kind of wide open. But the point is, you have to train your brain to speak like that. You're not just going to wake up and do all, I'm great, I'm going to survive. Like, no, you have to practice it. It's going to feel a little weird at first. But please, if you don't do nothing else, if you didn't hear nothing else from this whole thing, use your words carefully and speak life into your life. That's it.
Oof, that's a good one. Rod, I want to thank you, because you're giving whoever's watching this practical steps in that. In light of that, I think I want to do the same, because yours is perfect. I think a caveat to it is throughout your day, what I typically have done for many years now, but when I find myself having like doubts about what I'm getting accomplished throughout the day, I can't really celebrate any wins because I don't think I'm getting anything done. I'll literally throughout the day just write down the things that I'm doing. And it may seem like a lot, but I promise you, if you take, let's say you take a task and you called someone and spoke to them, just write it down. Spoke to so and so. You sent a couple of emails and you did that for a little bit. Sent 15 emails to whatever that is. I promise you, if you review it at the end of your day, you're going to look back and you're going to see that you have been doing. I promise you. My final thoughts real quick are, first off, mind your state of being, because it will allow you to be present. I'll say that again. Mind your state of being, your current state of being, because it would allow you to be present. And that is important. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, the situation you're going to, give yourself grace. And lastly, this too shall pass. Whether it's a good thing, it's going to pass. Whether it's a bad thing, it's going to pass. It will all pass. So that's why we have to be mindful. We have to be present. It's going to be okay. It's going to be fine.
That's what's up. It's real talk. It will be fine.
Each one of these conversations has profound meaning, and it doesn't even matter which direction we go in. Every brother has shared something that I know I'm taking away from tonight. And the biggest thing we have here in GFB Clubhouse is not only for our wish that you would adopt the practice of gratitude, begin to apply it, and even tell us about it in the comment section, but that you would gain other nuggets based on where you are in your current journey. Whether that's as an entrepreneur, someone has a 9-to-5, or somebody just casually see 4 brothers who are having a conversation one evening. So we invite you to listen again. Send it to someone who may need to hear some of the things that we've mentioned. And know and rest assured that if you subscribe and like and comment, like all the YouTubers say, you're going to get more of this type of material on a weekly basis. Because this is the GFB Clubhouse, 7 p.m. every Tuesday night. We're here not only for ourselves, but for you as well. So we thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you the next time. May God bless and keep you in the interim. Good night.